Did you know that centuries before vampire movies and horror novels existed, people across Europe were already terrified of the dead rising from their graves? They didn't just whisper about it. They believed it so strongly that they began burying bodies in ways meant to stop them from returning. Stakes through the heart, stones placed in the mouth, bodies pinned to the earth with iron. Why would entire villages perform such terrifying rituals? Unless they believed something truly horrifying was happening? Because according to ancient records, some people claimed the dead were already walking among them. And if even a fraction of these stories are true, then the legend of vampires may not be fiction at all. Long before the word vampire became famous, the fear already existed. In small villages across Eastern Europe during the 17th and 18th centuries, people lived with a constant fear of something unnatural. When someone died, the story didn't always end at the grave. Villagers began reporting strange events. Livestock would die overnight. Children would fall sick suddenly. And some claimed they saw figures wandering through the village late at night, figures that looked eerily familiar. Sometimes, they looked exactly like the people who had just died. Panic spread quickly. Because in those times, people believed death was not always permanent. And when illness began to spread through entire communities, they started searching for someone or something to blame. That's when the rumors began. Someone in the graveyard was feeding on the living. One of the most famous cases happened in 1725. In a small Serbian village, a man named Petar Blagojevic died after a brief illness. At first, his death seemed normal. But just days after his burial, something strange happened. 9 villagers suddenly became sick. Before they died, each one told the same terrifying story. They claimed that Petar had visited them at night. Standing beside their beds, watching them sleep, draining their life away. The villagers were terrified. So they did something desperate. They dug up Petar's grave. What they found shocked everyone. According to official records written by Austrian authorities, Petar's body had not decomposed. His skin looked fresh. His hair and nails appeared to have grown. And most disturbing of all, there was fresh blood around his mouth. The villagers believed there was only one explanation. Petar Blagojevic had become a vampire. The villagers knew what they had to do. According to local belief, the only way to stop a vampire was to destroy its heart. So they drove a wooden stake through Petar's chest. Witnesses later reported something chilling. When the stake pierced his body, fresh blood poured from his mouth and ears. To the terrified villagers, this was proof that he had been feeding. But modern historians believe something else may have been happening. During decomposition, gases can build up inside the body, forcing fluids outward. Hair and nails can appear to grow because the skin retracts after death. In the dark, fearful world of the 1700s, these natural processes looked like supernatural proof. But at the time, no one believed it was natural. To them, it was evidence that vampires were real. After the story of Petar spread, fear exploded across Europe. Reports of vampires began appearing everywhere. In villages throughout Serbia, Romania, and Hungary, people began digging up graves searching for the undead. Many bodies showed similar signs. Little decomposition, blood around the mouth, bloated skin. To modern science, these are normal stages of decay. But to terrified villagers, they look like monsters caught in the act. Soon, governments were forced to investigate. Even royal courts received reports of vampire outbreaks. One Austrian military surgeon wrote detailed accounts of exhumed bodies that seemed unnaturally preserved. These documents still exist today.
and they helped create one of the most enduring legends in human history, the vampire. The vampire legend became even darker with the story of one real historical figure. A prince from the 15th century, known for his brutal cruelty. His name was Vlad the Impaler. He ruled a region of Eastern Europe called Wallachia. And his enemies said he had a terrifying habit. He executed thousands of people by impaling them on wooden stakes. Some stories claimed he even dined among the bodies of his victims. Centuries later, a writer named Bram Stoker used this dark reputation as inspiration. In 1897, he published a novel that would define the vampire myth forever. The story of Dracula, a mysterious nobleman who drank blood and lived forever in darkness. The fictional vampire had been born, but the fears that inspired it were very real. Today, science explains many of the strange signs once believed to be proof of vampirism. Bodies swell during decomposition, blood can leak from the mouth. Skin can shrink, making hair appear longer, but even with these explanations, some discoveries still leave questions. Archaeologists have found graves where bodies were buried with large stones in their mouths. Others were pinned to the ground with iron spikes. These weren't accidents. They were deliberate attempts to prevent the dead from rising, which raises a haunting question. Why were entire communities so convinced that the dead could return? Fear alone doesn't create rituals that last centuries. Something must have frightened them deeply, something they believed they had seen. Closing, the legend that refuses to die. Today, vampires exist mostly in movies and books. But their origins come from something much darker. Real fear, real stories, and real graves dug up by terrified villagers. Whether the vampire legend was born from misunderstanding, superstition, or something we still don't fully understand, one thing is certain: for hundreds of years, people truly believed the dead were coming back. And sometimes, legends survive for a reason. Because deep down, we're still not completely sure what might be waiting in the dark.